Hey, what's up? It's Whistle, and welcome back to another episode of Timberborn. Last episode in Timberborn, we got our reservoir sorted. So look at all of this water. It's gonna go up another 2 levels or so. And all of this is done. We got this dam over here done. We got this little tiny dam here. And we are finally raising up a little bit in water level. These pumps are a little bit higher. And if I turn off the water level here, you will see we are about halfway up a block, which might not seem like a lot, but that's a ton of water in this. So super exciting. So yeah, that was our big project for the last however many episodes. So it is time to move on to the next one, and hopefully this one will go smoother. So yeah, I've been talking a lot about building a dam over here, so I'm gonna do that later on in the episode. I'll get everything planned out for that, so that will be fun. Couple bits of housekeeping I need to do though. I talked about putting a bridge in here in the last episode, and I did not, so we're gonna do that real quick. We're gonna unlock, I think we said this was 5 tiles long, so I think if I unlock this and this, let me just pause the game real quick. But we should be able to reach. I just have to delete this path. I'll have to repath a couple of these things, but that should be good. And then I won't need this path. Cool. And then if I put in the 2x1, cool, that connects up perfectly. And then I just have to put a little pathway going over to here. Wonderful. So they will start working on that. This requires 30 logs, 30 planks. This one requires 20 logs and 20 planks. The reason I didn't go, because there is bridges that go up to 6x1, but those require metal blocks. And I don't have a whole bunch of metal, to be honest. So just kind of some food for thought there. All right, and but yeah, so as I was kind of talking about in the last one, this bridge will make it so that way these beavers, both here on this little island that we're going to be making and in our industrial area, will be able to cross a lot quicker instead of having to go all the way up, around, back down, and over. So just a little bit of, a little bit of speed increase, I guess, for that. The other thing that I was talking about unlocking is going to be the grist mill and the bakery. So the grist mill will take wheat and turn it into flour, and then the bakery turns that flour into bread. It also satisfies what used to be called Hunger 3, but now it's just called bread, which increases carrying speed by 20%. So then we will have all 3 food sources unlocked. So looking at this, that's potatoes. What are you? You're carrots. So I'm going to actually turn this field here into wheat. I think that's probably safe. Oh, that was too much. Okay, let's unmark some of this real quick. But yeah, so if I set this to be wheat, we'll be able to grow a good bit of it. And I'm just going to actually demolish these resources here because we don't really need them, to be honest. And then we also might just move the beehive a little bit just to make things a smidge more efficient. Since I have the resources to do so, we're going to do that. And then I'm going to let the wheat field kind of go for a little bit so I can get a nice little stockpile of wheat going. Maybe like 1 full field harvest before I start building the grist mill and the bakery, assuming I remember, which I don't put too much faith in myself remembering, so it's probably best to just start building that right away, which I guess I will do. So now that we have the dynamite unlocked, I can do what I was talking about with the power, putting the power underneath these paths and putting platforms. Because I have about 300 planks and I'm sitting right around 300 wood at a minimum. And this over here, this little tree farm, or not so little tree farm, this is going to be producing a pretty large amount of wood for us once it gets rolling. The other thing I did over in our second little city is I just built a second farmhouse over here. I'm probably going to wind up just turning this whole little peninsula into agriculture stuff, so I'll probably put potatoes in here. But this field also looks a bit big for just the one farmhouse at any rate, so I'll probably even need to put like a third farmhouse rather, over here to get this whole peninsula. But we'll figure that out as we go. I'm gonna increase speed to 2 times, I think. And I guess let's get started on getting the power underneath so I can start building stuff over here. Don't know where the easiest spot to do it is. Probably actually over here, because I don't need this path for anything. Cool. So we'll start with that. And I want to destroy as little things as possible while I'm doing this, so I guess I gotta be careful. Don't want to destroy the windmills. Nope. Can I? Yes, cool. There we go. Nope. Do not want to destroy the windmill. Cool. So we're gonna do that, and I am also going to demolish that real quick. And we're gonna put in a 3-way power, just like that. That's actually, I don't think that's gonna work. Hang on, give me 1 second. Let me think this through. So if I put that there, it's gonna have to go down. No, that's not gonna work. So I destroyed that for nothing. Oh well, just takes 2 logs. Not the end of the world. Maybe here. Because if I do here, then I can go straight over. Yeah, so we'll do that. We'll delete this one. I'll pause it real quick so we waste as little time as possible. And then I think if I just go, let's see, 1 over, and then this one goes down, and this will start running underneath. Yes, that looks good to me. Cool. So we'll get those building, and I'm going to go ahead and put a piece of dynamite. Let's wait, I guess, for that to be built, but here, maybe let's set that to a high priority, just so that one gets built first, because I'll be able to reach the other 2 from either side. Oops, and then, yeah, so we'll be able to get dynamite going under the pass. I'm thinking just put a straight line under here, and put the power back up right over here, and then we can start using all of this area for powered buildings. The other thing that I could do over here, I do have quite a good amount of land, so I could put some windmills over here as well. Put platforms over this little lake. And if I get the large windmill, which I probably have enough resources to do, I just need the science points. I can turn this into some large windmills, or even this area over here, because I can't really build anything over here because the path stops about there. Might go a couple blocks further, but I don't have much use for this area. So if I just turn this all into wind farms here, we can connect it all up and power the grid that way. It won't necessarily look the prettiest, but I think it will be the most practical in terms of space. And our farm has been demolished, so let's go and put that right there. And we are going to plant wheat all around that in all the green space. So we're going to go to here, wheat. Let's go like that. And we'll just get this all planted up. Wheat takes a little bit longer to grow than the other 2 crops, but that's totally fine because we are doing pretty good on food. We have 4,000 food. This colony over here at this point should be self-sufficient with food, so I'm actually going to go ahead and tell you to stop bringing in food. So we're just bringing in logs, planks, and water for the time being. Once I get these 2 water pumps going, I don't think I'll need the water, to be honest. So let's see, yeah, we have 115 water because that's stored. So maybe let's increase priority on a couple of these real quick, just for some quick water storage. And I will build another water pump here. I also did put down a couple more houses over this way as well, so they'll just kind of build those as they do. And our trees should be just about done for, yes, so 90-ish%. So this should be fully grown by the next night. But yeah, so we'll start to get some wood. We'll start building some more stuff over here. This little colony will start growing. And how are these things coming along? Oop, I should probably mark that up higher. Do I have somebody working in this? Yes, I do. Cool. And the other thing, actually, let me mark that down real quick, because I also need a piece of dynamite right in here. So we'll mark that one to a highest priority. This one's just going to be high to make sure that we can get it. And yeah, things are going to come along well. The other thing that I did, think about in between episodes is I put a stair here. So I'm actually going to just draw a path this way. I want to just see how far it will reach, because we are super far away from our district center. Okay, so right there. So let's zoom in on that real quick so I don't lose that block. Get it all the way on the right-hand side of my screen, I guess. And we will demolish all of these roads. Cool, so that's telling me once we get our drought defenders set up in terms of food and sustainability and all that stuff, we can expand to another one over here, another district. And what I'm thinking for this one, we probably have to start down here with it until we can build a staircase up this edge here, or maybe even over here. And then just for the short term, we can just plop it down somewhere like right over here. And then we can start building our dam, because we'll be able to build it from both sides. Because this is a huge, huge space here that we're going to be building. And these beavers are not going to be able to reach all of it. I imagine we'll might be able to get up to like here-ish on it with what we have if I am smart with pathways and building. So like if I just put a little path here and just go straight across that way, which I might wind up doing, because this is going to save us a lot of wood as well if I put it here, because obviously that is a pretty high piece of mountain, hill, whatever you want to call it, relative to this. So that's going to save us a lot of wood. So I want to use the terrain to help us save as many resources as we can. I know it won't look as impressive as building a massive dam, right here, but gotta play smart as well, and practicality will be the same. So nothing to really worry about. And I missed a couple pieces of wheat over here, so let's just go ahead and get those planted. That one should grow too. Cool. And you can see we're at 8% growth. The wheat takes 10 days to grow, so that is going to take a little bit for us, but that's not a problem. And I think because I'm probably going to need a lot of dynamite as we progress, so once I get more power and stuff, I might get another paper mill and another explosives factory, or even maybe just a second explosives factory. That might do the trick, to be honest. So that way we can get some more dynamite, because I have some pretty big plans with dynamite, so I'm going to need a lot of it. And even, this stuff up here is taking quite a good amount of time in order to get placed. So yeah, so I think that's probably smart, just putting a second explosives factory in this area once I unlock the space for it. And the other thing that I could do potentially is put this power underneath here. I'm not super concerned about that at the moment, but that's just a future thought, because I don't really like how that looks, to be honest. I'd rather the power go underneath if I can do it. And it will take up the same amount of space just to go underground as opposed to above it. Alright, so how is this? Cool, we have some water storage built up. We're sitting still at about 115 water. I think once I get a second pump in here, we'll be able to sustain the beavers that we're going to have in this little colony with water, hopefully. Again, if not, I can bring some extra water in, because we're going to have more than enough going. Oop, that's actually at the bottom. Let's check over here real quick and see where we're at. Oh, yeah, that's not working too well. Okay. So I'm going to turn these back on. I know they're flooded right now, so they can't do anything with that. But once they become unflooded, we'll be able to get water at least going in here, and that should just maintain us. Not that I'm terribly worried, because we have 1,700 water still, and it looks like it's actually rising. And there's only about 4 days left in the drought, so we should be okay, but just get nervous about things sometimes. Alrighty. And let's go ahead and set that up to the highest priority as well. And then I guess we'll just keep going on this. I wish the windmill didn't get in the way all the time. There we go. Well, I want to leave this pathway for right now. I'm going to do this last, because this might mess up some stuff that we have. So I'm basically going to wait until I have everything else ready to go before I destroy this, because I'm going to have to destroy it, wait for dynamite to get placed, build a platform here, and then put a path back. And realistically thinking, if I just put the power back up here, I will have this one block, which isn't the end of the world. Or the other thing that I could do is extend it down here a little bit and have the power go into like the middle of a set of buildings. So like if I pause the game real quick, and let's say this is all lumber mills, right? So if I have something like this, I could have the power come up here, go into the buildings, and do that as well. Which might wind up working better, because it will kind of hide the power cable, and it won't look like just a random power cable coming up out of the ground. But we'll see. The other thing that I put in, which I don't know if anybody's using it. Yes, I put in a couple benches up here. I figured this is probably a pretty nice scenic spot to just, you know, watch some birds or whatever beavers do, right near our little beaver statue. So think of this as a little park. And I guess also we'll just delete these. I don't need them anymore. We've been here since the start of the series, but it's time to move on from them. And we'll delete these paths as well. Nice. Cool, so that's good. Could I expand this at all? No, I cannot. Oh, right, you need those paths in order to do your job. That's fair. I understand that. That doesn't help at all. Okay, why do I have trees down here then? That's weird, because it should... All of this was being planted at some point. I am a little confused, but that's fine. It happens. I get confused pretty easily, so... Alright, we'll delete that again. Cool, and we are just rocking and rolling with all this stuff. Oh, our water supply is still going up, actually, so that's good. We're still hovering around 4,000 food, and that is, again, without our second colony really doing too much. I think they're, again, probably self-sustaining for the most part. But, yeah, I could probably, with all the carrots that we have going there, I already did that, never mind. So we should be good. I will probably need some storage over here, though, as well. I guess we're storing carrots in there. Cool. Ooh, and our trees are growing. There's nothing to do in range. I haven't told you to cut anything. That's my bad. Just select all of that to be cut. And you should start going to work. Sometime. Maybe. Are you gonna work? There we go. So yep, it's gonna go. And we have our forest over here. Something else I was thinking about. I'm gonna have all this green space back here, so I could turn that into a farm or some more wood. More wood might be the more practical thing, to be honest, because with the with this dam that I'm going to be building, I think that's going to be something that's super, super important. So I guess let's go ahead and get that built as well. And that can just kind of be built in the background as we have time. Not super worried about it. So we'll build that. And oops, I didn't really pay attention to the radius there. Let's delete that real quick and make sure. Yes, so it's going to hit all the green land. Nice. So we'll put path right here. And once that's done, I guess we're just going to say, let's go ahead and plant some maple trees. I don't want to go super crazy with it, because this stuff may wind up drying out at some point. But we'll just get this little area here. And this is just going to provide a whole heap of wood for us for a very long time. With these two, I can get them exporting the wood, and we'll be good. Ooh, our farm is dying. That's not good. Okay. So that might be something that's worth thinking about in the future. Just putting a little river and like a little watering hole in here just to keep things a little more damp. So I guess just to make sure I don't plant anything in there, let's go ahead and do this. And once I get some more dynamite, I can just put a little platform path here with some water running under it, and that should be good. Especially if I have a dam in here, because that water is not really going to drain too much, so we should be fine. Once we get everything rocking and rolling. but that is okay because we have about 200 food. We only have, what, 13? Yeah, 13 beavers in this little city, so we're gonna be fine. Alright, and I think that is about all I wanted to do before I started on the dam. So I'm gonna go ahead and make a cut here. I'm gonna let the game run in the background, I think, so I'll come back if anything weird is happening. But otherwise, I will see you guys back once I have my dam all planned out. We are back. So it took me a bit longer than I was planning on originally, but I did get some other stuff done, so I am pretty happy with it. So it's not fully done at the moment because I couldn't quite get all of these trees cut down with what I have. So I literally have this one dead tree, or these 3 trees rather, I'm sorry. These 3 trees are just totally blocking everything that I'm trying to do. So I will have to put paths down to get these trees cut. Not the end of the world. Anyway, let me pop this on real quick. So this is the start of the dam. I do not have it going all the way over because I would like to keep this for food production, obviously. In the meantime, once the dam is going, I will have to get rid of a few of these, and this area is going to be useless up here. But may as well continue to use it for food because this is going to take me a very long time to do, which is fine. It gives us a long-term goal, and long-term goals are important. So basically what I'm going for is, and I can continue doing this while I'm talking. So I'm going to have a aqueduct, that's the word. So I'm going to have an aqueduct here, and the aqueduct is going to be 2 blocks deep. So I have a little bit here. Oop, 1 block deep, I'm sorry. Oops, there we go. Good camera skills. So it's going to be 1 block deep. And the water is just going to flow from the river that we started on over here. It's going to flow all the way across and eventually fill in this basin here. The other thing that is going to do is that is going to let us be able to control water flow to this area as well. If I put a couple floodgates in, you know, just to maintain the water height, we should be good. And then I'll put a dam on either end of this as well. So that way the water will stay and it's not going to rush from one side to the other super quickly. So yeah, this is kind of the long-term thing that I have going. I don't want to do too much on the river. So I might actually delete this whole row here real quick, just to make sure nobody can get to it. Let's see. Cool. So we're going to do that because I don't want this whole river to get dammed up, just in case, because I don't need this whole area flooding. Because that could be not very fun to deal with. But yeah, so that's what I have going on. And that is what I spent the last little bit doing. And once I get these trees taken care of, I'll be able to get the rest of it going. I also am getting ready to put another district in here. I'm just waiting on a little bit longer just to make sure that this colony over here is going to be self-sufficient before I cut them loose, basically. I know I will still need to give planks and other processed materials to this area, but I think I should be good in terms of just the raw resources. I also put in another forester because this area is going to be green, so I don't remember if I did that before or after I cut, but at any rate, it's here now, and we'll be getting that going. I also discovered that these are all maples down here. So I built a little stairway down to this part just to help us extract these a bit quicker. I thought that they were just like, you know, birches or something, so I wasn't too concerned, but this is a lot of wood down here, and I am going to need all of it. So yeah, this should wind up filling up, and as we go on, I can get a distribution post, you know, maybe right over here to just transport basically wood over to this area, because I will need it for the dam, and then otherwise we should be pretty good. The other thing that I did while I was I did a lot of things here and there. I finished up our little power system. So you can see right now these are all the buildings that I have going. Long term, I would like to have a building just backed straight into this, so I don't need, you know, this little bit here. But I figured I may as well start with the road and kind of work from there. So this is what I have so far. So I have one explosives factory. These are the grist mills for the wheat, because you can see we're already up to 180 wheat, so that should be good. And then I have 2 lumber mills and 1 gear workshop, which should keep the flow of things going pretty well. I think you want roughly like a 2-to-1 ratio on those, so that way you're not turning all of your planks into gears. The other thing that I did, I unlocked the large windmill. So I plan on putting a couple of those down, which I think I may have messed up my placement. Yes, I sure did. Can I put one on the platform? I don't know if I can put a windmill on a platform, so we're going to do a quick science experiment real quick. If I can start clicking the right stuff. There we go. I can. Great. Okay. So let's just... Yeah, and I did alter the power system a little bit here, but that's totally fine. Because in the end, everything should work out. So if we put a little T-junction in there, put that, let's just make sure that's high priority so that gets done for the large windmill, because that would be a bad time. And I also need one of these. Cool. So these large windmills, they can provide a total of 300 horsepower. Still really wish that was beaver power. That would be more fun. But yeah, 300 horsepower. So assuming the wind is going, I just add an extra 600 power to our little system, and I can just keep on going because I can put probably like 3 or 4 more in here, and then I have loads of space over here to start putting them as well. But this is probably going to be my power source going forward, at least for this main area. The water wheels are great and all, but obviously once the drought starts, that's just not going to happen. So this will just be constant power. So you can see right now we're getting 272 power compared to 109 from the small ones. So I might even, because I think the space difference between them is the same, I think. So I'll double check that, but I think I might wind up putting in large windmills and all of these if I can, just to get, you know, maximum power out of everything. But yeah, so this has been a productive little episode for us as we watch all of our beaver clan go to work. At some point I should probably, I don't know, I'm kind of having doubts about having all of my beavers live over here for the most part. Obviously I know I have a little bit up here, but in terms of expansion, it might make sense to have a second little slot up here so that way they don't have to walk quite as far to everything. And I can kind of spread them around, but I'm going to think on that between episodes. So I'm going to leave off here, I think, for today's video, because we've been going for a little bit. So yeah, unless I see something else real quick, just doing a quick visual scan. And the water level is rising, which is good. Cool. So yeah, I think we're good. We're going to just watch our little beaver carry this box. So yeah, thank you all so much for watching. It is super appreciated. If you like the video, drop a like. If you like what I'm doing on the channel, consider subscribing. Both of those let me know you guys like the videos and content that I'm putting out, and they're both super appreciated. Leave a comment down below if you have any questions or concerns or just comments about really anything. I'll respond to them. Let's have a little conversation in the chat. But with that being said, I hope all of you have a wonderful day or night wherever you are at. And as always, remember to do something kind.